Hi guys, I'm new to this channel so you can call me Serena09 or just Serena. Today I wanted to try the Pinterest challenge created by Emma Artley. The challenge is pretty simple. You have to randomize the place, year and season, then go on Pinterest and search some other stuff like skin color, hair and other to flesh out how your OC is gonna look like. I chose three characters because it's easier to make up a story, and when I tell you I got a wild year to go off, I mean it because to one I got a history museum, but the year I got was 1839. Sounds familiar? Well, if you don't know, that's the year before WW2. If you know, you know. Which kind of stressed me out on how do I make a story with this, but I worked it out. Let's go on to the OCs. So, the first one for the album, I got Lofi. So, it's a woman. The skin is like an ashy brown or a tan. The hair was pretty wild and not for the 30s. A basic dress and a rosy palette. And I just realized that she got gloves for the accessories and I forgot to add it to the drawing. Her name is Safa Phelps. It's kinda weird, but it's randomly generated, so not my fault. For Safa's personality, I imagined her as a more of a grumpy and a truthful person. I think she has no filter, she'll say anything to anyone. The second OC I got for the album, The Green Idiot. I do not know this band, so I had to Google it. Anyway, so a man with brownish or tanned skin, a masculine body. I did have to get a reference for the pose, cause I'm bad at anatomy. A buzz cut, casual clothes, a watch, and a red, brown, and green palette. The name I generated is Ebony Burnett, and for his personality, I'm thinking kind of flashy and unserious person. Not like the annoying types, more of a funny type of guy. His backstory is that he was raised in a small city in Spain or Portugal where his parents wanted him to be. But Ebony wanted to learn more about history, it was his favorite subject, which he wanted to teach in school. He wanted to be a teacher. But after he moved to another country, to a big city for college, he faced the reality of how harsh life can be. At third year of college he dropped out because of financial problems of his family, leading him to go back to his family house, helping his dad with work. Spent a lot of time there, but he decided to move to live in a small apartment in another country city, working in a bakery, then a restaurant, and other jobs until he was 28. A strange man suggested him a job at a history museum. Ebony immediately took the job, not only that it's what he likes to do, but also that it pays good money to help his family and himself. Future Serena, here I redrew Ebony recently because I didn't really like his face. Maybe because I improved over those months. And yes, I have been doing this video for 2 months. Anyway, here he is. I didn't do the shading because I was in a rush. So sorry for that. I have decided to tell Safa's backstory after I told Ebony's backstory because, well, it's all relevant. When I'm telling the backstory of Safa, I'm also telling how Safa likes Ebony, how their relationship is. So sorry for that. Safa lived in a village raised in a poor household due to the lack of money due to her father's passing. Safa struggled her whole life till 25 in the village by selling vegetables there, but the whole village was poor. There was not much to get. Her mom and grandparents gathered all the money they had to forcefully make her move to a bigger city to find a job. She really tried, but it was hard to get a job with no experience since her village had only one high school. But one day Safa was approached by a man. She never met him. He offered her a job at the History Museum, but Safa didn't want that job. She would be unhappy, but it paid good money, so her family pressured her to accept it. At the job, she met the other employee. She didn't like him, thought he was childish, and she ignored his struggles to just see that his family accepted him and he was happy. Even got to college. So he didn't really have struggles. He's just ignorant and doesn't care about her struggles. For the Frodo C, the randomized album was Radiohead. I like Radiohead. It's one of my favorite bands. So he's a man. For the look, he got light skin, slim and a bit muscular build, pretty decent haircut, suit, and a dark kind of coffee and blue palette. His name is Chris Byrne. He's a very sarcastic and dark humor man, just doesn't care about anything at all. Chris's story is different from the other two. He wasn't poor, neither did he have to help his family. As a kid, he was favorited by teachers and kindergarten workers to impress his rich parents. As a teenager, he was often surrounded by other kids obsessing over him, and that's how he learned to manipulate and play with other people's minds, or even lives. He sees himself as a higher person than anyone. Just because he's rich, it worsened him when his dad gave him his company. There's only one time when Chris is a normal person, when he's listening or learning about history. With his personality and obsession over one thing, he decided to make a history museum where he can play with the employees, to feel control of them like back when he was at school. So basically, I've been brainstorming the whole story because it was hard not to create something offensive. And then I remembered a show. I don't remember what it's called, but it was pretty similar to what I've got. It was about a guy in a museum where he traveled back in time to the dinosaur era. So I thought maybe this story would be a educational show about WW2. Safa and Ebony would be the workers at the History Museum, with Chris being the owner. Since it would be an educational show for young teenagers, I thought maybe there should be some comedy. Basically, Safa and Ebony fought for Chris's attention, so he decided to play with them a little, telling them that if one of them wants his attention, they should mess around in the museum. They both started looking for things to impress him. One of the objects was an old watch. I did take it from Ebony's accessories. Sorry for that. Both of them launched at it while struggling to get it. Both of them accidentally turned it on, sending them into the Future History Museum, where they learned about the World War II. And it's a show for teenagers, not children, of course. Safa and Ebony probably started to tolerate, not like, but tolerate each other. Thank you guys for watching, and sorry if the post race made you mad. I'm still a beginner at anatomy. I'm pretty good at faces, but I do suck at drawing body. And remember that I'm here to have fun and improve my art. I would love to meet other artists on YouTube. Also, here are the randomized OCs from Pinterest. Alright, bye!